that's the wrong banner. All right, let's try the right one. There we go. Anyway, welcome to Live Long and Podcast Star Trek Enterprise Rewatch series. And I don't even have my script up. Man, I'm losing it today. It's all that drinking from hockey, I guess. Anyway, welcome to Enterprise at 8. This is, as I said, the Live Long and Podcast Star Trek Enterprise Rewatch series. It's been about 20 years since tonight's episode Carbon Creek first aired, but we're just getting started here at Enterprise at 8. I'm Jody Simpson, and joining me as my co-host and the man that reminds us that we have to finish soon because I Love Lucy is on tonight, Adam Woodward, which he currently doesn't have headphones on or anything, so we're just batting 1,000 today. Can we hear you, Adam?
No.
All right, well, anyway, let's keep going. He'll figure it out. And, of course, who could forget the man who also revels in violence, Kevin Millard.
Hello.
And one day, and right now, Adam might have his own set of violence for the equipment that he's currently using. We can see him again, but can we hear him? It's very intriguing. The tension is building. Let's see. At this point, he's not talking, so we don't know. He might. All right, anyway. Anyway, tonight's episode is Carbon Creek. This is the 27th episode of the series. This is season 2, episode 2, technically. And this is the one where T'Pol disputes accepted accounts, telling Archer and Trip a story about her great-grandmother and 3 other Vulcans crash landing in Pennsylvania in the 1950s. It doesn't tell us exactly when in the 1950s, but it was in the 1950s somewhere. I'm guessing around 54-ish, somewhere around there. And now, currently, Adam is doing swear words, but we can't hear him, so all right, let's take Adam out for a minute so he doesn't keep mouthing swear words. Anyway, what did you think of this, Kevin?
I love it. I love these episodes. You called it last week. You were like, I think you're gonna
I knew you'd like this one.
Yeah, of course I do. It's got none of the crew in it. It's got my favorite part of
none of the crew in it.
Almost always my favorite part of any episode is the 3 of them sitting around the table and talking. This is a really good one with Paul just fucking with them the whole time.
Yeah.
I love it. And then just weirdness, like just Vulcans landing on Earth and observing us like we do to other species in other series.
Yeah. And basically just kind of showing the foibles and whatnot of what they're doing. Like I like for instance all the little tiny kind of in jokes that they have based on the culture, right? So like for instance, like they're listening to a baseball game on the radio, and these guys think it's like some sort of like war arena type thing where they're hitting people. Yeah, it's like a combat sport and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. So let's. All right, we're gonna add Adam back in. Maybe we can at least hear him. I don't know. We can't see him right now, but we'll wait for him anyway. But yeah, like I agree with you. This is it's a little off kilter compared to the other episodes that we've seen. It's more of a kind of a backstory episode more than anything, and it's not even a backstory of a character that we're following. So it's interesting, and I like the fact that they have references to the movies in this. It's got some callbacks, which is quite nice. And overall, it's an interesting story. It's neat to see. Obviously, they took liberties with T'Pol's grandmother looking just like her. Stunningly.
If you don't have to pay another actress, then
exactly, and that's fine. But they didn't change any features on her or anything. It would have been nice if they put a prosthetic nose on or something to just make her face look slightly different. But it is what it is. It doesn't really make any difference. The thing that I thought was interesting is some of the neat little callbacks, like the Velcro thing. I thought was quite interesting.
The Velcro thing, like Vulcans brought us Velcro. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, what's even more amazing is, did you catch his name? His name is Menstrel or something like that, right? Like Mestrel or something. The Vulcan. The one Vulcan that's there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's the last name of the guy that invented Velcro.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. There's a lot of neat little things. I don't know if we have Adam yet. He might just be freeze framed at this point. Yeah, okay, he's gone. So anyway, there he goes. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good episode. It was a nice story. It didn't seem to drag too much. I
3 very emotional Vulcans.
Yes, which is interesting because by the time T'Pol is part of this. Now, when we're thinking about this, this is obviously what 200-300 years difference, right? I really got to stop that alarm. Yeah, like we have 300 years worth of difference. So within these 300 years, the Vulcans have learned to suppress a little bit more, which is kind of neat. So we kind of see the evolution of their suppression as well, right? But overall, I just thought the episode was great. I thought the supporting cast was pretty interesting as well. Like the boy who's trying to get to college and stuff like that, and he's quite an avid reader, stuff like that. And she takes an interest in him mostly because he's always looking for knowledge, I guess.
Oh yeah, for all her complaining about humans, she does end up helping him, right? Like
yeah. Well, that's where she gets the money, right? She gets the money for him to get into college. But I like the fact that they had to figure out they're going to be stuck there for a while. So it's like, well, what do? Well, we're going to have to integrate, because if we don't integrate, we're going to die. We can't live off of where the ship is. Like, we're going to have to go into town, get food, stuff like that. The one thing I don't know if I missed it or not, but I would have liked to seen is some sort of reference to how the humans smell.
No, they didn't say anything.
I don't think they put that in at all, did they?
No.
So let's see if Adam's here now. Adam? Oh, I can hear things.
Something.
I can hear clicking. Talk, Adam. Maybe he can't hear us now. Damn it. Anyway. Eventually Adam will figure it out. Like I like like you said earlier, some of the best episode scenes have been with those three talking around the dinner table. And
I think it's because Archer is actually standing still. He's that sitting.
Helps. That absolutely helps. Yeah, absolutely. Totally helps. I get that. We have Sam. Sam has shown up. I love Lucy from the 50s. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people do, and it was great. Nice little thing. What's he saying here? I missed my DS9 coverage. I do believe that's coming back. I don't know exactly when. Kevin might be able to shed some light on that, but I don't know.
I have no idea when, but I know it's soon.
It's going to be soon because unfortunately it conflicted with hockey and some other things. So we had to kind of put it on hiatus for a little bit.
I think Dave was already doing 2 podcasts on Wednesdays, so we couldn't move it.
Yeah, we couldn't move it either. So it's just been a hectic schedule for everybody. So hopefully that'll die down now. We just finished our hockey tournament, so he just has normal hockey now. So we'll see if I'm assuming that's coming back in a couple weeks.
I would think within that, yeah,
somewhere around there. And also Sam says that he is graduating high school in 2 weeks. Hey, good job!
Congratulations!
Good job. Hopefully your marks are there, and hopefully you get where you don't want to be. So good job, Sam. But yeah, overall, I liked the aesthetic of the episode. I thought they did a good job with that. All those things. Actually, I will have to address this comment. Who won the tournament? Not Dave. That's all you need to know. All right. Anyway,
not any of us.
I got a medal. I just didn't get first place. Yeah, but
he might. Sam, you might know Max from Trivial Debates if you've ever watched that. Max's team won.
Max's team won. So congratulations to him, even though he sucks. But anyway. And Adam unfortunately couldn't make it. He got his flight was delayed, so he couldn't make it to the tournament, unfortunately. And Kevin just got hurt and he got a lot of bruises, so we're all good. But we all live to tell the tale. I think the hardest part of the whole tournament was the drinking, but anyway, or the waking up after the drinking.
The waking up, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I like the aesthetic to it. I think they did a great job of giving me this small mining town. I think they did a good job with that. I'm one of those guys that whenever they do period stuff like this, I always look in the background to see what they screwed up. And it's like, no, they were pretty spot on. They did great. Like you didn't find like, you know, a modern Pepsi machine somewhere or something like that. Like it, you know, where that kind of happens sometimes. But like all the cars were accurate to the time period from the looks of it. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but overall, I just think the general aesthetic was great. I liked how they set up the crash and stuff like that. I think they did a good job of that.
This scene behind you when they're talking about eating
yes.
deer. We're just going to be savages now.
Yeah, we're just going to be savages now. You know, he's like, well, what do you want to do then? Because that's pretty much the only thing we can eat right now. But
that's the beginning. And then my other favorite is probably near the end of the episode where Trip says, you might as well tell us that Neil Armstrong wasn't the first man on the moon. And she goes, perhaps he wasn't. And he just hangs his head in defeat.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, you're the worst, Paul. You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, but yeah, overall, I think it's a good episode. I definitely think it's a recommended episode to watch. You know, it's not very heavy on Enterprise by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it's more the lore, supporting cast.
Yeah, it's
guest stars.
Yeah, and you know, with that, I think they did a good job. I liked how they tried to hide their ears and stuff like that, like, you know, very reminiscent of Spock in Star Trek 4, for instance. But you know, this is even more dangerous because, you know,
I love
30 difference. Yeah.
Whenever Star Trek has, whether it's humans or anyone else that goes back in time, I love that all of them are just like, can you believe they radiate their own planet? Like, can you?
Yeah. Like, how stupid are these guys? You know. But I like the fact that the one guy was wearing a toque the whole time. But he's working in the mine and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of cool. I like the scene here, even though obviously it was done to be provocative as well.
Provocative, of course.
But you know, it was funny to see that, like, she really doesn't know what this is, so she thought that was the way to put it on, right? Like, so that makes sense where she's doing that. But obviously they wanted to just cast a naked Jolene Blaylock on the thing there. But and let's be honest, she's got a good shape to her. But yeah, overall, I just thought, you know, the aesthetic was great. Overall, the story, I think it kind of drags a bit, but I think it has to, because it's kind of the nature of where they are, right? Like it's not going to be an exciting place. This is a little mining town in Pennsylvania. Oh, there's Adam. Let's see if he's got his stuff fixed. Adam.
Hello.
Hey, we got him. All right. So anyway, but well, let's get Adam's take on this. You know, how did you feel about this episode, Adam?
Well, when I made the mistake earlier today about telling you what episode I thought we were doing tonight, I was quite happy when we were talking about this one. Yeah. This is a good episode. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is a good episode. It's top notch. I'm really curious to see what Dave says. Unfortunately, Dave had a prior commitment, which was he has to celebrate his 40th, his parents' 40th wedding anniversary. Which, you know, happy anniversary, I guess, to Beth and Ted. You know, 40 years, that's quite an achievement, especially in today's day and age where everybody gets sick of everybody pretty quickly. You know, it's pretty good.
You guys, nothing but trouble.
Apparently, yes. It's like watching an episode of Cops. It's like,
I think you're finally ready.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Adam has figured out his stuff. We're what? 14 minutes in, Adam. No big deal.
I'm using somebody else's laptop. I couldn't.
Fair enough. But anyway, either way, it is what it is. But yeah, no, as we were saying, Kevin, I don't know what you caught from Kevin and I already, but basically we liked it. We liked the fact that Archer wasn't walking around. That was clearly a great way to deal with him. He had
to remain seated through the entire episode.
But I do.
He wasn't allowed to walk away.
I do have an Archer complaint.
Okay, let's hear it.
I found, you know, when he's trying to talk to Paul at the beginning, and come on, tell us the story. It's so painful to watch him just engage in a conversation with somebody.
especially the way he was written for that, right? Like it's like, it sounds almost like they wrote it for like Travis, for instance, and then they gave it to him. Like it was like, it's just it doesn't match the character. Like
he's so unnatural.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is odd because he's a guy that can act.
Trip
which is
can
interesting,
get irritating, but at least his reactions and his speech, it's like natural. Like, but Archer, it's always so weird.
Lead.
Like,
well,
Kevin,
have you ever?
Please tell me the story.
Yeah. Like it's so overdone. Have you guys ever caught the podcast that Connor Trenier and the guy who plays Malcolm does? The shuttle. It's called Shuttle Pod, I think.
Oh, really?
But yeah, they do it and they sit down with like different things and tell the behind the scenes stories and stuff. But it's actually really good. But the reason why I'm mentioning this, which sounds completely off the wall, is that Connor Trenier, which is the guy who plays Trip, he sounds pretty much the exact same. Like he talks normally the way that Trip talks. Like, pretty close to it. No, he doesn't have the accent. The accent was obviously something he threw in, but just like his mannerisms and stuff, like he literally is the same person for the most part. So it was interesting, but I highly recommend it. It's on YouTube, so you can actually watch the live version as well. But it's actually a pretty good little podcast. They had Brandon Bagg on, and he was talking about like what was going to happen in like season 5 and stuff like that. So it was quite interesting, a lot of the stuff that they were going to have. And they take like viewer questions. So like one of the questions was like, what were you going to do with Hoshi? And his answer was, we don't know. Like we have no idea what we were going to do with Hoshi. So, but it was interesting anyway. But anyway, let's get back to the episode. But yeah, like I like the fact that it's very low key. There's not really any special things that happen in this other than, you know, for instance, they pull out the phaser to shoot the quartz, and there goes shaky cam again. But anyway, it's like Blair Witch Project 2 or 3 or whatever they're on now. Yeah. But anyway, so soon you're going to be haunted.
Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah. Let it raise your right eyebrow if we need to call the cops. You know, that kind of thing. But anyway, I like the aesthetic. I thought it was great. I think overall the episode is a solid episode. It's refreshing to get away, especially after Shockwave, right? Like we had 2 episodes of Shockwave, where was one big long story, and it's kind of nice to get to something completely alternate for a little bit, just to kind of cleanse the palate, I guess is a good way to say it. But I don't know.
These are almost always my favorite episodes.
Yeah, I've noticed that about you, and that's what I said last week, right? I'm like, oh, Kevin's gonna like this episode. This is gonna be a Kevin episode for sure.
Why do you like them so much, Kevin?
I don't know. They're weird. They're usually focused on characters. This one, it's focused on characters I don't know, but I really like listening to them talk about humans the way we talk about.
We talk about Benny.
Yes, about other species when we visit their primitive.
It's kind of like when Benny comes from England and he talks about Canadians.
Yes, same idea.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
hello, everyone.
Well, hello. We have some guests here. Well, one's not a guest, but the other 2 are. So we don't care about Dave, but hello, lovely Jane.
Hi.
And of course, the even more stunning Benny.
Oh, look at that hair. Look at that hair.
I know. It's gorgeous.
Long cost you $5.
Anyway, Dave, what did you think of this episode?
Well, you know, it's Vulcans. It's the 50s. Velcro. It's good. You know, it's Vulcans invented Velcro. I don't know if you know that. They sold it to us for.
Well, I don't know if you caught my little fun fact that I probably stole from somebody else, but might be Adam. But the last name of one of the Vulcans is actually, or the name of one of the Vulcans is actually the last name of the guy that invented Velcro.
Oh, there you go.
So
it's the hook and loop system.
Mestrel or whatever is, Velcro is the brand name, but yeah.
Right. But you know, if what if like the little green men are actually just little men with green blood?
Well, that's a possibility, I guess.
Who? Oh, I see here. Who is that in the background?
That is the delightful Benny.
Sam's our fan from Newfoundland.
Oh shit! What's up? I'm a fan from England, so what up?
Yeah. Hey, Gene from Newfoundland is being said.
Hi Sam. I haven't met you, but I see all your comments and I appreciate them.
And Sam's graduating
high
school.
I'm a listener as well.
He's graduating high school in 2 weeks, he says, and he wants to know if Spock's a Vulcan. I don't know if you deserve to graduate high school.
Yeah, if you don't know that.
If you don't know that, I feel like that's part of the
Sam.
The question should be: is Gilligan a Vulcan? You know?
Which is possible, actually. There might be a connection there.
Sam, I like Gilligan's Island as well.
Yes.
Just put that out there.
Well, we are just
now the wife of the producer is going to get on board on that one.
He's
He's got no chance. He's going to have to.
We are coming from the anniversary dinner of my parents' 40th anniversary. So thank you Sam, for that too.
Yes, happy 40th.
And yes, we did drop the gloves at the anniversary dinner, but yeah, that's a whole different story. I won't get into it.
I think he was talking about the hockey tournament.
He was, but,
he wanted to know who won, and we told him not Dave.
Yeah, no, I didn't win. We didn't do so well.
There's always next year.
No, you were fourth twice.
We were fourth times two.
Yep, fourth times
exactly.
Yep.
Ben, you want to say anything about the?
I don't know what that was, but anyway.
About the Vulcans.
Yeah.
I know they got bumpy foreheads and weird ears. That's it.
Only some of them.
No, that's more Romulan.
More Romulans.
Romulan.
Sorry.
Only northern Romulans.
Spock in it, yeah. Spock as well.
Yeah. So.
Beginning to think that Benny might not be the best guest for this podcast.
Well, he doesn't even like
the absolute 100% worst guest for this.
This is the anti-Star Trek.
He's like the most.
I actually hate Star Trek.
Oh, I'm just gonna have to kick him off.
He was just leaving, really, though. So it's
all the fans come and get me.
One of these days he'll have a jersey that actually has a good team on it. But what do you want?
Yeah, true. Well, buy me one.
You don't mean this?
Oh, I can get you a Salsa Sharks jersey if that's what you want.
Fucking yeah! If you get my name on it.
Wait, we switch teams?
I'm not switching teams. I want jerseys from different teams.
Yeah, he's not switching
I
teams.
want to get
Don't
somebody
worry.
jersey as well. And
Anyway, let's get back on topic here.
Every single team.
Off this tangent.
Sorry.
Keep us on track, Jody. Keep us on track.
Well, I'm trying to, but you just tried to take over my show.
I failed.
Adam already took over 14 minutes of it by not having his shit working. So,
you're having serious technical issues tonight.
It's been a shit show. Let's put it that way.
It's kind of like when the Vulcans crashed, they couldn't make their ship go, right? Like
True.
They had to try to fix it.
You know what? It was pretty amazing that they sat around in the woods there for like how many weeks until
it was like 2 or 3 weeks, until they were like really hungry.
And they were very messy Vulcans throwing their paper wrappings all everywhere.
Yeah, that's kind of what Kevin said. Like these are different Vulcans than the Vulcans we're used to. Like these guys have more emotion. They litter.
They litter a lot, and they
like every time we see the planet Vulcan, like in Star Trek, it's a clean place.
But right? I haven't seen this episode in 20 years, but I would think that the Vulcans just get better and better every year, right? They're still progressing through their control of their emotions. So it makes sense if 200-300 years earlier, they're a little less control of their emotions.
It's only logical.
It's only logical.
Question, though, when I heard you talking about the clothes, Jody, when they were stealing the clothes.
Yes. Yeah.
Do people hang their shoes out in the line in the 50s?
Maybe. At least there they did.
Yeah. Got a pair of high heels and a pair of boots.
That was a little weird. I was like, why is it? Well, obviously it's for convenience so she can get some notice. Yeah. But if that's the case, why would they need to? Like, who cares? Like, am I going to... Well, maybe Dave would be like, where did she get those high heels from? Right? Like, something like that. But
well, actually, it was my wife who said that. She goes, where did she get those high heels? Did you steal them off the line? So,
yeah. So, maybe.
But I like the Andy of Mayberry, thing about it. I quite like those episodes where they go back in time. Even the what's her name? City on the Edge for Tomorrow, when they head back into that time frame as well, the 30s, just fun, different. Definitely doesn't require a big budget for sure.
Well, in a way, it probably does though, because you have to have all these background cars. You got to rent all them. You got to do all that stuff. Like, I think it still costs money. It probably doesn't cost as much as like building brand new sets and stuff like that. I'm sure this is just a town that looks a lot like this to begin with, and they just added some props to it, right?
But I love the bartender's son there. He's such a Mayberry character.
Yeah. Look at Betty. Betty's like, gotta go.
Yeah, he's like, how can I gracefully?
There's probably booze or something somewhere else. That would be better than this.
Women, booze, whatever.
It could be a little bit of everything, really, with Benny. But yeah. So yeah, like I think when it comes to Star Trek and it comes to going back episodes, most of the time they're decent. I can think of a couple examples of ones that weren't, but I never liked the Voyager episode where they go back to like the 90s. I thought that one was stupid, but
that's where you get the.
I hate that one.
That's the one with Sarah Silverman in it.
Yeah, Sarah Silverman's in it.
Yeah, she
Sarah
says
Silverman is one of the reasons why I don't like that episode. I normally like her.
Tom Paris was hot in a howdy doody kind of way. I'm still trying to analyze that.
Yeah, that's a little fucked up, isn't it? Maybe that's why I don't like
love Tuvok running around and just looking like Miami Vice.
That's true. Awesome in that episode.
Yeah, that's true. He does look pretty good in that.
She's like, "Hey, Tuvok, what's up?" He's like, "Breakfast is up. Do you want a burrito?"
Yeah, makes sense.
Still a good moment.
So do we think that this Vulcan actually did stay on the planet?
Yeah, I think he did.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
You think all of her story was true?
I don't think her story was not true. I think that she was honest, and I think, I do like that she led the guys on, though. Maybe it's not real, but I don't think.
Well, and the moon thing was funny.
A liar.
Yeah, the moon thing was good too. A good way to.
Yeah, I loved that. It's telling me that Neil Armstrong didn't land on the moon, or he wasn't the first man on the moon. Perhaps he wasn't.
And he is back. This time with something in his hand, I'm sure.
Ask Benny a question.
Ask Benny a question about what?
Star Trek.
Oh.
Look, I saw the movies, all right? The first movie wasn't bad. Second movie wasn't bad. They both went.
You think the first movie was?
If you think the first movie was good?
Wait. What movies though?
Second one?
Hold on. Yeah, that's a good point.
The first movie.
The first of the remake, like starring.
You're thinking Star Trek 2009.
I agree. That was a good movie.
Why don't you just go over to Adam's house?
Yes.
I'm glad you're all annoyed. Yeah.
Go over to Adam's
The
house.
groans of pain make me happy.
I quite enjoyed that movie. I'd watch it again and again and again.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got one ally.
You've never seen like the original motion picture.
Have you seen what?
I've seen enough clips to be familiar with it. I don't.
Don't waste your
hate it.
People's jumpers look like. I know
The original motion picture sucks.
going on.
Yeah,
Gadgets.
You got phasers. You gotta get a tricorder. You go. Woo!
I think Betty just described that movie perfectly. Jumpers and little guns.
The problem is that was literally the whole script, and then they stretched it out.
Yeah.
That's how they wrote that movie.
Right, Star Trek.
So we're gonna have a scene with a phaser, and we're gonna have a scene with the satellite, and we're gonna have 30 minutes of glamour shots.
Good one.
Yeah. Bye, Benny. All right. Anyway, what about you, Jane?
I'm afraid I haven't seen this episode. I wish I had been prepared. It's
you
been
don't
20
remember?
years.
Oh,
20
okay.
years. When he mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, there was a garage. I remember like a garage. In this
Nope,
episode.
no garage.
That's all I remember.
No garage.
No garage?
There was a
Would they,
bar.
like, there was a bar. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I
worked
watched.
at a bar.
I honestly watched
T'Pol's
Enterprise
character.
the first run, and that's it. I haven't. It's not one of those that I rewatch. Like,
Well,
like,
this is
like-
kind of Kevin's first time through it
Yeah.
too. So
Not kind of. It is.
It is.
Alright.
Yeah, I think he only got to like what was it, the third episode of the
3 or
first
4
season?
episodes in.
Yeah, and then
But
he quit.
several times I've seen those 3 or 4 episodes several times. I always fell off at the same
yeah.
spot.
For me, like I was watching some of Enterprise 20 years ago. This was an episode I definitely did see on its original airing. Remember liking it and kind of feeling a little bit better about Enterprise after it. But there were other episodes later on in the season,
like
that
the one after this,
Like the one
that I
after
didn't like so much.
Minefield.
I know. They've been on such a roll.
Minefield isn't a
episodes in a row that are awesome.
It's not that it's a
see your
terrible
message in
episode.
the thing, Adam, and I'm like, damn it.
It's not a terrible episode, but unfortunately, it follows the least good character.
Well, Minefield.
That isn't the helmsman guy.
Mayweather.
Yeah.
Take us out, Mr. Mayweather.
If it was a Mayweather episode, it would be the ultimate worst.
Yeah, like I think that
And there would be ghost stories.
yeah, they if they were doing only 10 episodes a season, I think they could have locked out 10 really good episodes. But back in this format. They were still trying to do the old 26 episode syndication.
Yeah.
And by the early 2000s, it was kind of outdated already. It was already started.
It was funny because I read on, I think it was on like some Facebook group or something like that, where one guy's like, Discovery's way better. It's lasted longer than Enterprise. It's like, if you actually count the episodes, it's not even close. Like,
it takes
there's 26. Yeah, there's 26 episodes on each season, and there's 4 seasons of Enterprise. So, you're talking over 100 episodes.
Yeah, so Enterprise, like by today's standard, would be like 8 seasons, right?
Yeah,
like,
easily. Yeah, easily. Yeah. So
but
not longer, but
and I think like when you compare Enterprise to the other Star Trek shows like Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Next Gen, especially like those the same era it's sort of from. I think it holds up. More or less,
it holds up decently.
It's growing on me for sure.
Yeah, it holds up. The third and fourth season is my favorite. A lot of the times, if I rewatch the series, like when I wasn't doing this, I would kind of start at season 3 and just keep going from there. But there are definitely some episodes that are definitely good episodes for sure. So. But overall, yeah, but that's the whole point of this podcast, Jane, is to get Kevin to rewatch them all. Or watch them all in the first place. But so far he's you know what? We were surprised we got through a season with him.
So you're at season 2, episode 2. Okay.
Yeah.
It just gets better from here.
And we keep telling Kevin like the good stuff.
It's coming. It's coming.
Eventually.
I gave the last 2 episodes a 10.
The last 3 episodes.
That's true. He did.
Yeah,
he gave Shockwave part 1 and 2 both a 10, and then he gave. And he's probably going to give this one a 10.
This one is also getting a 10, so that's 3 in a row.
That's pretty good.
Like I definitely.
This one will not be a 10, Kevin. I'm going to tell you right now. If you scored over a 6, I would be impressed.
Okay, we can't talk about that one yet because I have lots to say next week.
No, let's not talk about it.
I think with Discovery, when you
compare, I like the premise. I just didn't like everything else.
Yeah, the problem with Discovery in comparison to Enterprise, Discovery is like it's hard to like really relate to the crew of Discovery because it's been so fluid, because Burnham's not the captain until season 4.
The captain,
and like it's like there's all these guest captains, and Saru's the captain for 1 year, and there are different time periods, and that show is just kind of.
But even like I know this is so off track, but even like Strange New Worlds, it shows you though. I love these that they're Strange New World. Like Pike is not even like the main character. He is, but like they're showing you can still do good stories. I'm gonna warn you though.
I haven't seen the 5th episode yet.
Okay, but they can still focus like with Uhura. Like they can still focus on other people and still have Pike as the main. Like, Discovery. Just Strange New World just makes me like, you know what?
It's more classic.
Oh my gosh,
fantastic.
They really up the game, and I hope that they learn on the other series that are going on right now, Picard and Discovery. Take some of this.
I have a feeling that Picard's going to pull something from that because of the fact that they're bringing the original series crew back, but I don't see Discovery changing anything. I think they're going to stay exactly what they're doing. It's still fairly successful, let's be honest, even though I don't think it deserves to be, but it's, that's one person's opinion, right?
Yeah.
So it's that simple. But anyway, let's get back to this. We keep tangenting off. You know what the problem is? I don't have anything negative to say, and that's really how I feel.
You know what's cool about this episode is first
that's
of all, I think that they became, aside from the warp core engineer guy. I mean, they were very
like it.
Huh?
Is Jody's shirt on backwards? That's what we're trying to figure out.
No, it's not. It's a Canada hockey shirt.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Adam. Continue your thought. Sorry.
No. I was just
not backwards.
When it became clear that they might be there for extended period of time, the way they just engaged and got in there and were working in, started caring for humans, which is kind of anti-Vulcan, especially in the Enterprise days.
Yeah.
When you look at the ambassador on Earth, he's just this disdain for humans, and meanwhile these guys actually seem to be really compassionate, and I like that recognition that humans are compassionate, warm, and they care for one another, and they show this, and even to Paul's great grandmother, went and got money, and that was kind of funny too, the whole I'll give you Velcro, and the guy's reaction was fantastic. Just ripping that apart for 5 seconds, it's good.
I love that's the invention that'll change the world that they give to the humans.
What kind of did, Kevin?
I love it.
Velcro's a godsend.
If it wasn't for Velcro, I wouldn't have been able to put my shoes on when I was 5. So
Yeah, I was forced to learn how to tie my shoes, Jody. I didn't have Velcro yet.
Wow. I also didn't have to go to school in blizzards like you did. So, whatever.
Uphill both ways.
Yep.
Yeah, uphill both ways. Yeah.
The thing too, is there another episode of Star Trek that you could even compare this to? Is my question, because I can't remember another episode where it's like Picard, let me tell you about my great grandfather. Then we go to like a flat.
What about the Janeway one?
There's you're right.
There is a Janeway one. Yeah.
There's one where what was that called? Like the Infinity Gate or something like that.
Oh no, the Millennium Gate.
The Millennium Gate,
Millennium
right?
Gate,
Where Janeway's talking, and of course it must be Brendan Braga. This is like Brendan Braga has written all over it. But I feel like this version of it is much better than that one. Because that was like a 2-parter with the Millennium Gate, and we're seeing like Janeway's like great grandmother or something, like who was also played by Kate Mulgrew. And I remember not liking those episodes very much, but I remember conversely liking this Carbon Creek one installment very much. So, but it's not done very often where it's like, hey, let me, Geordie LaForge talking about his great grandfather, and then it's LeVar Burton like doing something or whatever.
No.
They do sometimes, like, it's not. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, they do these episodes where there's someone telling a story. I mean, you've got Deep Space Nine does that a few times, but it's not usually a story about like their ancestors or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Like you've got the one with Tony Todd as Jake. He's basically telling a story about what happened.
And then we get like this guest star, and we're not with the crew. We're not with like our normal show, right? Like it's like a complete departure from the show.
To me, that one is a lot like this.
Yeah, that's a good point too. But Next Gen, I can't imagine one that's like this.
No, not at all.
Hmm.
No, I can't. I can't think of any.
Well, the Crusher one, but no, that her Nana
Don't
died.
Please.
Oh,
Beverly.
Who actually likes that episode?
I love that episode.
Sub Rosa? Oh, Sub Rosa is a terrible episode.
Sub Rosa is a classic.
It's a classic on what not to do in a popular series.
Dave, I've probably watched
that is the Jump the Shark episode in Star Trek
multiple times. Like, and I keep skipping that one because I've only seen it once, and I don't want to ever watch it again.
It's the only one on Netflix that doesn't say I've ever watched it.
Adam, we often agree on Star Trek, but like sometimes
I will watch. I
you know what, Dave?
God,
I'm going to watch it this week and revisit it, and just come back to you next week. Okay.
I just want you to go back and watch Spock's Brain again and realize
you better go to the liquor store. That's all I can tell you.
Spock's Brain is
I remember that was like the podcast where Adam and I were as far apart as we could be on the.
You liked Spock's Brain?
I didn't go into it, but then I watched it that day, and I was like, "This is a classic. This is a great."
It's so terrible. I rather watch the clip show episode where Jonathan Frakes is in a coma.
In his coma. Yeah.
Which is a terrible episode too. That's an awful.
It's terrible, absolutely terrible. But I'll still watch that before I watch Sub Rosa again.
Oh no, I'd rather watch Sub Rosa. Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
Beverly.
It's so terrible.
That candle has been working in your family for millions of years, or whatever he says.
I love when you try to do a Scottish accent.
No, I can't do it. Especially
it's shite.
It's poor like that has to come from somewhere. Poor.
God,
if you ever want to go back and listen to our Star Trek Radio Theater of Who Mourns for Adonais, if you want a real train wreck, it's there.
That's a real train wreck. Yeah,
check it out. I played Scotty in that one, and I did it I had to issue an apology to Scotland. After the
he almost created an international incident.
Yeah, it was
all right. I had to do an apology to the entire British Isles.
Yeah. I think Alex Blackburn gave you a pardon on that one.
Yeah,
you were from every part. You were from every part of England.
But to be fair, Alex Blackburn also deals with horror movies all the time. So,
well, it was a horror show.
You're in the right realm with him. Yeah.
Oh, good.
But yeah, overall, I think this is a great episode. I don't have anything really negative to say about it. It's solid. I think the dialogue's decent. It's believable for what it's for. The kid that's very innocent, Mayberry, I liked him. You know, which I normally don't like those characters,
but that scene where he's telling to Paul or Paul's great grandmother that he is not going to school, doesn't have the money, and just the genuine look of disappointment but concern at the same time. Like she made the decision right away, she's going to help, right?
Yeah, you already knew that there was going to be something going on with that, right? Like just based on how she reacted. And I liked the two guys that were with her as well. I thought they did pretty decently. The one guy that's pretty much home all the time, he's kind of boring, but the guy who's the miner, I thought he did a good job too.
Oh, I like that plumber guy. You know, was it Mrs. Jackson's plumbing all the time?
Yeah, Mrs. Jackson's plumbing's been broken for 3 times this week.
Perhaps she likes your company.
Yeah, perhaps she likes your company.
Here's my question too about this episode is like the fact that it comes, it's episode 2 of season 2. And, you know, they could have thrown this episode anywhere in Enterprise, right? Because it's basically T'Pol just telling Archer and Trip.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you put this. Yeah,
right.
It could be anywhere.
Maybe it's better served in season 1 or not, because it's kind of irrelevant. But I guess like what's the sort of the net outcome here? Like what do we learn about T'Pol? What do we learn about how does it affect Archer and Trip after this? How they perceive her?
I think that it's a great question because I was just thinking about this. And you know, when you open an episode with them drinking wine and serving T'Pol, I think that, whoa, this is different. They've hit a new level in the relationship, number one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we also have to remember that this is placed just as we figure out that T'Pol's really on Archer's side now. Like she's fighting with him, you know, the whole time thing and all that. And even though, you know, that doesn't exist because the Vulcan Academy says it isn't real. But anyway, but yeah, overall, I think the whole point of this was to make us kind of like T'Pol more, I think, even though realistically it's not about T'Pol, it's about one of her ancestors. But I think it's a filler episode that was just done well. I don't think we get it at the end of this. I don't think we've gained anything.
No, but you know what we gained is a pause after 2 pretty intense episodes.
Yes. And I think that's what it was for.
But also we've gained the knowledge that they're becoming a team, like a real
they're all sitting having dinner. Like she's not complaining about everything all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no complaining about each other around the table. They're just kind of joking around,
comrades in arms. So I think it's supposed to kind of show us that they're getting tighter knit, and with T'Pol's character especially does, because obviously she ends up joining the Federation eventually, or you know, whatever you want to call it at this point.
Starfleet
at this point.
Has a Vulcan ever told a story on Star Trek before? Like just sat down and told anyone a story?
Well, like I remember Tuvok telling some stories, but
he did. But they would have been overshadowed by everything that Chakotay said, though, because Chakotay had like 20 episodes where he was
like, he had a Kuchimoya, man. Don't you know?
All those Kuchimoya episodes. Far
from the bones of our ancestor. We are.
Get that girl on the cliff. Remember, she's like, Tuvok,
no! Don't let me fall, Tuvok. Tuvok, no. No.
The more people explain episodes from Voyager, the more I realize that's why I don't like Voyager. It's so weird.
The more
like people every time somebody references an episode from Voyager, I'm like, yeah, that's why it's shit. You know, but there's some great episodes.
Hey, Jody, remember Kazons? And you're just like, I hate this show.
Fucking Kazons.
It was just Lost in Space. That's all it was.
It was Lost in Space, yeah, but not as good, in my opinion. I liked Lost in Space. That was
remember Cass?
Oh, Cass is brutal. Cass is brutal. And then when they brought her back, and she was even more brutal then.
She was great when she came back. It was a great comeback.
It was like having Tasha Yar come back, but at least Tasha Yar coming back was good. Selena or whatever her name was. Sela, that's it. Sela.
Well, before that, it was the alternate Tasha Yar, the yesterday's Enterprise
C,
which is a great episode.
Yeah,
I like
set
that
up Sela.
I like that episode.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Sorry, I keep taking you off track here.
No, that's fine. It's fine. And that's what I said, though. I really don't have anything negative to say, and that's usually what I fill in the podcast with. So if I can't talk about this episode, it's probably because it's decent.
There's not a ton. It's just a nice story.
It's just a nice story. I don't want to give away everything in it because it wasn't boring. I agree as well.
Good pace.
Yeah. it got a little slow at times, but I wouldn't say it was slow to the point where you're like, ah, shit. Like it was a 2-minute slowdown, and then we're back going again. Like it was fine.
I like this behind you too. Like we're left wondering if she's just telling a story, and then you get she has the purse.
Yeah,
she's got the purse. I just keep going. I don't believe T'Pol lies, and you know she's a true Vulcan. So why would?
Well, she's proven that she can lie though, because she's lied in various episodes up to this point. So she's lied to like foreign dictators and stuff like that.
All Vulcans lie.
Okay.
Yeah. Why did they say they couldn't lie then? Why did they say they were? Why did Spock say couldn't lie?
Don't look, Dave. There's a random Englishman in the background. Oh, he's gone.
No, he hates Star Trek
all the time. He would just mind fuck everybody and be like, "No, I'm stretching the truth, or I'm exaggerating.
I exaggerated it for our benefit, Captain."
Yeah.
Okay, they don't lie to the captain.
That was exciting. Yeah, well, overall.
Vulcans don't imagine things. Vulcans don't smile. Vulcans don't touch food with their hands. The Vulcans stayed to help Earth 90 years ago. We're still there. Try to learn from failure.
It's like the Ferengis rules, kind of. For the
Vulcans. Rules of acquisition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the rules of non-emotion.
Yeah, they have all kinds of T'Pol. I have a lot of T'Pol quotes.
What Vulcans don't do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, T'Pol in a way is almost like Worf from Next Gen, where it's like, you know, Klingons don't do this.
Klingons don't play with fluffy animals.
Yeah, we do not like tribbles. You know, that kind of thing. So,
we may look alike, but the similarity ends there.
Yeah, but anyway, Adam.
Yeah.
Might be time for some fun facts. I might have ruined one for you already, but
it's okay. I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
So the episode was shot before Shockwave Part 2, though it aired after. So the only thing I guess is that I think it came a little too early in this episode or in the season, you know, to take a break. Because really, when I said that we had 2 good episodes, well, they weren't back to back. It was back.
No, there was a hiatus in between there.
Yeah. That's right. So did we need that yet? Probably not. But it was good. Good episode. In reality, Velcro was invented by George de Mestral. This is where the character of Mestral got his name.
Yeah.
So, also de Mestral's Velcro patent was granted in 1955, 2 years before Sputnik, and the events depicted in this episode. So a little bit of
See, I thought it was around 54, 53, somewhere around there. So that would make sense.
Yep. As evidenced by the episode script, the installment had the working title of Population 612.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what the sign said.
This title is better. Carbon Creek.
This title is better, yeah.
Yeah. And this is the 14th consecutive episode to carry either a teleplay or story credited for Rick Berman and Brannon Braga. And that ended the run that began with Shadows of P'Jem.
They are trying to copy J. Michael Straczynski from Babylon 5, who had a great run for consecutive episodes.
I'm going to make a banner that's going to say Babylon 5 tangent incoming, and we're going to have that play every so often. Can we do one fucking episode without Babylon 5 coming up?
Well, I try every week, but I can't.
You know, when I was at dinner last week, Davin referenced Babylon 5, and I sort of lost. I went glazed over at that point.
See?
Dave, when is the reboot?
It's like a Mater thing.
Know this yet?
They made a pilot for a reboot and it didn't get picked up.
So. Oh, it didn't get picked up.
Oh, funny that.
Maybe
because it's shite.
Because the original Babylon 5 can't be remastered. It's
probably. Yeah, probably.
All right, so this is I'd love to see this if anybody can get their hands on it. But the season 2 blooper reel includes an alternate take of the final dinner table scene after the conclusion of T'Pol's story, in which the actors performed as if the characters were inebriated, including Jolene Blake as T'Pol.
Oh, we're doing that. I'm looking that up while you're talking.
Yeah, right. The take broke down when Tucker, Connor Trenier, started to laugh. That would be good to see.
Yeah.
In this episode, the television program I Love Lucy is mentioned by one of the Vulcan characters. In reality, Star Trek: The Original Series was a Desilu production filmed at that studio, which was owned by Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. I think that's a really big reach in the fun facts today.
Subtle reference.
It's a bit of a reach, yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, that's about it. the scene where the 3 Vulcans steal clothes mimic the similar scene in the original series, City on the Edge of Forever.
Yeah.
Where the original cast with Kirk and Spock steal clothes right away. And Mestrel's hat is similar to the one that Spock wore in the same episode to cover his ears.
None of them claim to be Chinese, so that's a departure from the original.
Well,
series.
thank God, even though it was 2002. My goodness.
It's still cringy back when Shatner does it in the original series. He's like, clearly my friend is Chinese. As all Vulcans are.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I found a file that claims to be it, but it's downloading really slow, so we're probably not going to get to play it. But maybe we'll play it next podcast.
We go over ratings now.
Let's do ratings.
All right, let's get her up. So I think Davin in the comments was indicating he's giving this an 8 out of 10, right?
I think he said something like that.
I wasn't sure if he meant the
solid 8 out of 10.
Solid 8 out of 10. So I already pre-rated this in case I wasn't going to come, but I did come, obviously. 8.5. So is what my rating was. Jody,
I'm giving it a 9. I would have liked a little bit more action in it, but past that, really the story doesn't dictate having more action in it.
Sorry, when did you guys talk about before I came on about how they were considering eating a deer?
Yes.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. We're
That was
savages
great.
now. Like
We're savages now? Killing for food?
That was fun. Okay. I'm giving it a 9 as well. That's 3 episodes in a row for me. 9s. Wow.
yeah.
It's okay. Next week I'm taking it off.
Coco Melon is haunting me.
I don't have a call for
apparently.
you yet.
Oh, I haven't watched it in 20 years, so
You're
I
okay.
have
You're
no
okay
comment.
not
I
to
have
vote?
no comment.
All right, Kevin.
and a 10 for me. I love
A
it.
10. A 10. That's 3 10s in a row.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
You
That's a
love
lot of
Enterprise.
10s.
Your
Well,
season
these
average.
3 episodes.
His season right now is at a solid 10.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it's
It's all going
Right,
to be
season
derailed.
2. If I stop watching now, it's a perfect season.
a perfect
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
It won't be come next week. I can tell you
Kevin,
that.
just stop now.
Or maybe
You're-
maybe skip next week's. Maybe
You're about to
busy.
get the rug pulled from underneath you here.
Yeah, you know what? It's got some interesting
No.
things in it, but it is mostly terrible.
No.
It's
What's it
pretty
called?
terrible.
The next one?
The next one is Minefield.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that doesn't bode well. That
Just that one.
Any
Well-
episode where it's all about Malcolm, you know it ain't gonna be that good.
but that's the Romulan one, right?
Well, let me double check. Maybe I'm got it wrong.
Isn't
I
that
thought it
what
was
the
called
minefield is? That they run into these Romulans, but we're not allowed to know the Romulans.
Oh, yes,
hold
yes,
on.
yes. That's it, Dave. It's just, but it's.
'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
that's the one. Yeah, that's the
as
one.
much as I love Balance of Terror, part of the issue with that episode is that they pigeonholed themselves into the situation where they say we don't know what the Romulans look like until Balance of Terror,
Mhm.
and so they've tried to make all these prequels, Enterprise, even Discovery, and now Strange New Worlds, where
They
the
can't see
the
them.
Romulans have to be this big question mark that we don't understand because of what we established in that. Which is, if it was like a hated episode, I think they wouldn't care. But because Balance of
Yeah,
Terror is
it's
like
a great episode.
it's like this
yeah.
top 10 original series episode, we have to
Right.
try to stick to that as much as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally Minefield. That is the one.
Yeah, the fact that the Romulans never let the humans.
You know what I will say about this episode though? The CG in it's really good. And the ships that they show are really good.
The ships are good, except when Malcolm's walking across the hull.
Yes, that was dumb.
they really could. They honestly they could do anything with the Romulans because they've already broken the canon anyway. Because they said that the Romulans and the humans had a war before ship-to-ship visual communication was possible.
right?
But it's possible. on
It's
the
clearly
front-
possible.
It
So-
does have some good quotes though.
So they've already broken the canon anyway.
Archer
You
Archer
can
does some good
retcon.
quotes in this episode.
Yeah,
You could
Archer does.
retcon, or
Yeah,
maybe
Archer has good quotes in this episode, so you know where we're going on this.
at the very least, you could say like at least by the time that Kirk and Spock are on the bridge of that ship, it's not common knowledge, but it doesn't mean that they can't know some things.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole thing in that episode was that the Romulans and the Vulcans are related, and therefore, that's where where Kirk checks that helmsman in the episode in Balance of Terror. He was like, "Leave your prejudice in your quarters. Don't bring it to the bridge," or all those things. Where this idea that like you could be kind of prejudiced against the Vulcans for being related to this great adversary of the Federation.
Oh, I just got reminded. This is the episode that has one of the best Phlox quotes Yeah, I did like that part.
Oh, it's about time. He said about 6 words since he joined the show. Outside of Dear Doctor, I don't think they've used him at all.
It's 6 of the greatest words ever spoken.
It's criminal how little they've used Phlox in this show.
It is.
So
he gets a lot more play later, though.
We are 28 episodes into this show at this point, and he's barely been in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, but he's like having like Jack Nicholson as a guest star in your movie. Like
Sure.
for the little that you have, it's fun.
He has an impact.
Yeah.
Like for instance, have you ever seen Mars Attacks?
I love Mars Attacks.
The Jack Nicholson scenes are the best scenes in that movie.
Or the Pierce Brosnan with the
Pierce Brosnan
body.
Means are pretty funny too.
It's got some great stuff.
I watched that recently with my daughter for the first time. She didn't believe that something like that existed, and I'm like, nope, it exists. And Tim Burton didn't. And she's like, Tim Burton, like all those weird Johnny Depp movies. Tim Burton. I'm like, yep, that's the one.
That was
she's
my
like,
first
oh, I got to see this then.
Mother was Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
You're what?
I opened that movie in I ran a movie theater back then, and it got nobody. It was an empty house.
No, it would have been. Yeah,
I was there.
Which theater were you
at? AMC back in those days.
Oh, okay. What city?
Mississauga, Kearney Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Don't they defeat the aliens with like Andy Williams records or something?
Yes.
No. It was some cowboy singer from.
Yeah. That movie is hilarious. But anyway, it's one of those movies that you have to appreciate the context of what it is. Like if you know the subject matter that it's derived from, it totally makes sense that they did it the way they did.
It's like a parody of like the 1950s or 40s B movies, like all that old kind of trash.
Well, it's a parody, but it's based on the comic books that actually did exist that were called Mars Attacks. Like this is an established franchise already.
They're like, we got Michael J. Fox, we got Sarah Jessica Parker,
we got everybody in there.
We got all these great actors to make this the worst movie you've ever seen.
Even had Tom Jones in it
on purpose.
Yeah,
Tom Jones. Yeah,
kind of like Cannonball Run.
Ving Rhames.
I love Cannonball Run.
Too? Like
Cannonball Run. Wow.
Cannonball Run is fun.
Bill Murray movie with Adam Driver about the zombies that absolutely sucked.
Oh,
I never saw that yet.
Don't.
I was gonna watch it, but
What was that one called?
It was called Only the Living or Only the Dead.
I did see that, and it was really low budget.
We watched it.
Yeah, we watched that. Yeah.
I laughed at parts, but
it
was overall.
It's on my list to watch, but now I'm thinking maybe.
Yeah, we watched that. Yeah.
I went to the theater with my son and that, and we were like the only ones watching it.
See, my problem is I'm a sucker for zombie movies. As
Me
Kevin
too.
would know, because
Me
his
too.
wife
I
is the exact same. Anything zombie, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in
I
automatically.
will watch it.
I even saw Zombies on a Plane, which is
one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my lifetime is a low budget zombie movie with Nazis.
Called?
Oh,
you know which one I'm talking about, Kevin,
right?
right?
For a while, right?
Nazis at the center of the earth.
Nazis at the center of the earth. That was a great movie. I have it on Blu-ray. It was in a bargain bin once for $4. I thought I hit the lottery.
I thought the same thing when I saw Zombies on a Plane. I got it at Blockbuster for like $2.50. I wanted my money back after. Like it was terrible.
But that's half the fun of zombie movies. But anyway,
that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll be back next week for Minefield, guys.
Indeed.
So get ready for that. Malcolm walking across and things, and then check us out Thursday. We're going to be talking about the next episode of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, which I am loving. Jody, I'm not going to spoil anything because I know you haven't seen it yet.
Don't spoil the last one, because I haven't seen the last one yet. I was too busy.
Kevin, what did you give that in your rating? Do you remember? Spock
shit. I think it was high. It was a 9 or a 9.5.
9.5. I loved it. I thought it was at least a 9.5. So I'll go back and watch your podcast with Davin just to confirm. But the episode 6, do we even know what it's called yet?
I didn't see the title for it
yet. Dave, I gave it a 9 as well. I watched it yesterday.
I'll give you my rating tomorrow because I'm going to watch it tomorrow morning.
It was great. It was funny. It was different. It was very, very good.
No, yeah, that's not spoiler. It's just as it is for all the episodes so far. They're great.
Yeah,
they're great.
I have a pretty good idea what's going to happen based on the name.
Just by the title, where it's going, which would have been good for you to have seen it before you watch this episode.
So on Thursday, we're going to be talking about episode 6 of Strange New Worlds, season 1. It's called Lift Us Where Suffering Cannot Reach.
I don't even have the vaguest idea what that would be about.
No, but that's like a real original series.
That's definitely that's like, you know, what was some of they had some really long titles for original series episodes. Like
it's right in that.
There's like paragraph titles, you know.
Yeah, like Who Mourns for Adonis? Like
that's one of the shorter ones.
Let That Be Your Last Battlefield. For the World Is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's still like the longest title of all of them.
It's brutal, but anyway, it was fine. Well, maybe that episode.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about that Thursday. So check that out. And then I think next week we'll finally bring back Star Trek Deep Space Nine at 9ish. Sam, I know you.
That was a question that came up. Yeah, I didn't know how to answer it because I think
we're now ready. You missed your DS9 coverage, don't we all? And we were getting to the best episodes, but now that Survivor.
Yeah, because you're in the Dominion War now, right?
We just hit the Dominion
War.
What
season are you at?
5.
That's season 5.
We're like halfway through. They just got the great tops.
That's premium DS9 right there.
Right. Like the last episode we covered on Deep Space Nine was for the uniform with Michael Eddington. And
geez, you're like right there.
We're right there. And then it was it just got too busy.
At what point is Eddington at?
He's just got captured and arrested. So that was like where he,
So you're literally beautiful. You're at the beginning of the
Dominion arc. So that's exciting, and I can't wait to get into it with the guys again. Jaemeel Robinson, Kevin Millard, Ashley Millard, Davin Skellhorn, and Jeff Mader, I guess.
Maybe.
Maybe. So. And then check out our other channels like Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, where we just finished watching Survivor season 42 and Big Brother Canada 10, which were both great seasons. I thought, right, Jane?
I always love it. I always love Big Brother.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, there's something I would watch Sub Rosa over.
Big Brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you got to start it from the beginning.
No, you don't have to.
Well, I do.
Are you talking about Sub Rosa or Big Brother?
Big Brother. I gotta start from the beginning.
I started in 50.
I watched the first step. I watched the wow.
Season,
the first season I watched.
Survivor, guys. We just had 2 Canadian winners back to back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, spoiler.
Good deal.
Did you know that the Queen?
Well, now I don't have
Jubilee
to watch
as well.
Dave, thanks.
What?
The Queen had her Jubilee over the weekend.
I didn't watch that.
You know what? If you don't need to watch really any of it because it's just a Jubilee. But the drone thing that they did was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did a drone thing.
Queen
And
didn't even go to
they animated a corgi. It was really cool. That was really neat.
Corgis.
Yeah, and she did a little fake thing with Paddington Bear, which I also thought was pretty cool.
I did see like a meme of Paddington Bear. I don't know if that was real or that actually happened, but yeah, I saw her in a character.
Well, no, it's CG.
Jane, it actually happened.
There's a big, like 6-foot bear who walks around and dresses in a raincoat.
That was part of the official broadcast?
Yes.
That was part of the official broadcast.
I didn't know that. Okay, I thought that was
No, they got the Queen to do it. She was like all in it.
Yeah, she was actually in it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually pretty neat. And we found out what she carries around in her purse all the time.
That's right. Marmalade sandwiches.
Oh.
They're definitely British then.
I think we missed something then yesterday or whatever. I think it was
you can see the clips of those on YouTube though.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, and then check out Trivial Debates, our third channel. We will be coming back with a new installment soon.
Even though Jaemeel wanted it done yesterday.
Jaemeel wanted to do it live in Brantford. I'm like, Jaemeel, it's too busy.
Jaemeel, we're too busy and too drunk. We can't do this.
Yeah. All right. But I think that's we can close the book on Carbon Creek, right?
It was good.
All right.
And Kevin liked it, and it might be the last 10 he gives out for a while. So we'll see.
We'll see.
The fact that he's even given out 10s is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I know. I've probably the same amount of 10s I've given out for Deep Space Nine.
Wow.
And Deep Space Nine is my favorite.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe Enterprise will be your favorite by the end of this.
I doubt it.
Let's not get crazy.
Yeah, let's not.
All right.
Like it was weird enough to try to get him to watch an entire season of it.
Yeah,
I gave a 10 to this episode, but almost nobody from the show is in it.
Yeah. True. Exactly true. And Archer was sitting still.
Jolene Blakelock's turned pretty good, eh? Like she's a solid part of the cast.
Absolutely, she's probably like the shining light of the cast.
She's the best actress on the show. On the show,
best actor. Her and John Billingsley, I think, are like the top two. And then after her, it's like maybe Linda Park and Connor Trenier and
Connor Trenier's good.
Certainly not the guy who plays Malcolm.
Bacula's way at the bottom of the pile.
Absolutely.
So,
which is odd because I don't know if you've seen other stuff that he's done other than like Quantum Leap, maybe. But he's done some actually pretty decent stuff. Like he's not a bad actor. He's not a bad actor. It's just I think the writing was just a little off for him.
I think what he thought he needed to be on that show is also.
Yeah, I think he was trying to be like some sort of like kind of toughy.
He's like, this
kind
is
of Kirk
Scott
guy,
Bakula was an action hero. This would be the
like, if Scott Bakula was stuck in time and he had to jump from leap to leap and he leaped into a Star Trek show, how would he act? Yeah,
well, that's why how I love like how Pike's playing it, Anson Mount's playing. He's like he could be that, but he's not.
I have such a man crush on him, Jane.
A cool captain. I can't even believe.
I have such a man crush on him, Jane.
I know.
If I was going to turn, I would definitely.
It's him, isn't it?
I would turn for him.
Trying to do his hair, Jane.
It's good hair. You can get it done.
You're getting there. You're getting there. You need a little bit more length, but you're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll see that for Halloween. That would be good.
Maybe.
That'd be a good costume for you, Adam. I think you could pull that off. You got a lot of his facial features. I think you could do it.
Oh my God, you're flattering me.
Well, I'm trying to be nice, I guess.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll give you that though. All right. Anyway, I think we're done.
All right. Well, live long and podcast, everybody, and we'll see you next week for my.
Come on, Kevin.
Vulcan children play with toys that are more sophisticated.